TAC Talk Show.
And I am very happy to be here. I'm here with my deputy campaign manager, who seems to know everybody here already, Sanjay George. I want to start off by saying Delegate Chang, myself, and Senator Lamb, I believe, all came in together, first elected in 2014, and both of them serve with honor and distinction and get things done. Clarence, Senator Lamb, is known to be, the progressive fighter, often lonely, so he needs help over there in the Senate, getting things done, and here in Howard County. And Delegate Chang was the vice chair of the Appropriations Committee and was very quiet, but quietly got things done, and I mean incredibly well respected in the House of Delegates. So just an honor to serve with both of you. And Secretary Lee and I had the pleasure of doing quite a bit of bills together. When I served on the Judiciary Committee and she was serving on the Judicial Proceedings Committee in the Senate, we got a lot of work together protecting children, women, and families. So I appreciate working with you for all those years. So I will just tell you a little bit about myself. I love Howard County. I am born and raised in this county. I graduated from Atholton High School in 1993. I can't believe it was that long ago. And now I'm raising my 3 kids here because this is just an amazing community. And one thing that makes this community great is its diversity. And I have to tell you, when I was growing up here, it was not that diverse, right? In Howard County wasn't diverse. We had to, my family as an African-American family, my parents had to seek out people that looked like me. And I learned quickly in the General Assembly that if you don't have representation of your community, then your voices aren't heard. When I became a member of the Judiciary Committee, the way I viewed things, there was no representation there. And so I think that's the same for the AAPI community as well. Representation is so vital and important. And that's why we have to get Delegate Chang elected in Anne Arundel County in particular. And so I'm committed to having my administration here in Howard County reflect the actual community, right? We want folks in our administration, and I've already done that at the campaign level, to reflect the community so that voices are heard. And I also want to have partnerships and relationships with people, which is why I'm so happy to get to know all of you, because I really believe that having partnerships and relationships and a continuing conversation, so I understand the issues that are important to you, and that you can come to me and let me know what is important to you to get things done for the better of the AAPI community here in Howard County. We've been going around the county talking to just a variety of people. We've been having a lot of roundtable discussions, and the same things are on, no matter what community you're from, the same things are on the top of everybody's mind. Education. I attended the public schools here in Howard County. My mom taught at Clarksville Middle here for over 30 years, and so I'm committed to, Dr. Ball did a good job this year, but since 2014, we have just declined in what we put in our schools. And we see that reflected in our schools ranking. We used to be #1 when I was in the public schools here, and that was quite a while ago. And we've seen that decline, so we have to get it back. And one of the things is when I chaired the Ways and Means Committee, we oversaw all of education policy for the state. So I understand how it should be implemented at the local level, the blueprint for education. And I am committed to funding our schools and working on any deferred maintenance problems here in our schools. I was happy to bring back $35 million specifically for Howard County to help our school system. And I'm proud to be the educators. We've got the Apple ballot, the educators endorsement, so I'm very, very excited about that. The other thing we hear about is public safety. Public safety in downtown Columbia, folks are worried about their businesses. Folks are worried about being out with their families. And actually, folks are concerned about their kids in schools. And you think Howard County, but yeah, that's what we're hearing. So I am proud to be endorsed by the police rank and file members, and also the supervisors, and also we just got endorsed by the Centurions, which is the minority police officers organization. So thank you. Very happy about that. My grandmother, she's my mom's mother. She's my maternal grandmother is 96, and she is she's still with us, and she lives very close to me, and she is a retired sheriff out of Detroit, Michigan. So very, very happy to have received that endorsement, and she's very happy about that as well. But I am committed to making spaces for our young people. Our young people need places to go so that they don't get into trouble. Not all of our young people can participate in whatever after-school activities that they have. My kids they stay booked and busy, but not all folks can afford to do that. So we need to have spaces for our young folks to have educational enrichment and to participate in whatever after-school activities that they can, where they can afford it, and we need to make nonprofit and private partnerships so that the taxpayers aren't fitting the bill for that, to keep kids out of trouble. And the final thing that we're really focused on is affordability, which is a wide range of things like BG&E bills that the General Assembly was working on, and housing. Housing in Howard County has just gotten too expensive. We are pricing people out. We are pricing our young folks out when they return from schools and they want to move back here. We're pricing out our teachers and our firefighters, our nurses, folks that take care of us. So we really have to figure out how to make housing more affordable. And we start by making our education system number one again so that we can get businesses back in Howard County. Businesses have been leaving. I really want to support our small businesses that are here. My father has a small minority-owned business. Make sure that we are making sure that all of the business owners know what opportunities are available, making sure our government is transparent. I'll tell this quick little story. My father has a government contracting business since 1981. So a long time, and I remember when he decided to go out on his own as an African-American male, he went to 7 banks and was turned down by 7 banks. And I remember my brother and I sitting at the table and him telling my mom, we're going to sign the house as collateral, and it worked out. We all said, you're going to be great, you're going to be amazing, but that was simply not because he wasn't qualified, but because he couldn't get any opportunities because of how he looked. And so I want to make sure that our government and our administration goes out to the community and lets the community know what opportunities are available in our administration and at the state level, because I believe I have those relationships too. That's very important to me, to grow our economic base here with our businesses that are here, to help them feel supported and to bring more folks here. So I think we need to get businesses here. We need to get bodies here to grow our economy so that we don't have to look at raising taxes. We don't want to do that. So we just need to grow our economy. And so I say we've gotten a couple other endorsements that I'm very, very excited about. United States Senator Angela Alsobrooks endorsed us, sitting Congresswoman Sarah Elfreth, Delegate Chow Wu. I think he was one of my very first endorsements. We worked very closely together on the Ways and Means Committee. And we have a really big one coming next week, so I can't say it, but we will put that out everywhere. So we are very excited about that. So I am happy to take any questions. Thank you again for having me here, and I'm happy to take any questions. Thank you.
Hi. Sorry, I just had a quick question about your point about growing our economy in Howard County. I know that my parents, they are both store owners as well. They're immigrants from Korea. And we live in Howard County for the education system. But because the property tax and the rents were so high, they actually had to set up their business in a different county. So I would love to hear more, if you had any, about your plans to grow the economy and how to bring businesses back to Howard County.
So I think we are at a turning point. We are really at a turning point. I don't think folks understand that this election is really going to be transformative for this county for the next 4 to 8 years. And not all of the candidates in the race believe that we should grow our economy and believe that we should thrive and bring more businesses and more housing opportunities for people here, but I do. I know that because of my father, and I worked in my father's business, I know that being an entrepreneur takes risk. It takes something special in your soul to be able to do that, to support your family and to support other families and when folks work for you as employees. So we really have to be here to support folks that have the courage to do that. We have had businesses leave Howard County, and I think it's because they don't feel seen, they don't feel visible, and because it's so expensive. So quite frankly, one of the things that was unpopular, but that was under the purview of the Ways and Means Committee is revenue, it's taxes, right? And so what we need to do is provide folks, quite frankly, with incentives to come here and to be here and to be in this county and to not just locate their businesses here, but locate their families here. So that is really going to be one of the focuses in my administration, that growing our economy through growing businesses here.
Hi, so beyond a lot of your very great endorsements, and congratulations also on receiving the endorsement of the Coalition of Asian Pacific American Democrats as well.
Thank you.
And I just want to ask, with so many, you definitely have the groundswelling of support and a lot of groups endorse you and love the work that you do and believe in your work as a potential county executive. I wanted to ask what your strategy was to make sure to address the needs and understand the requirements of all these groups that do endorse, since they are so diverse and they do have such different, needs and goals and everything else.
Thank you. So I am not going to 100% take credit for that. My deputy campaign manager, Sanjay George, when he came on board, he said, I want to have roundtables, and I want us to go out and meet with as many different parts of the community that we can. And so we immediately set up roundtables with different segments of the AAPI community, from the Jewish community, the African American community, the special education community. I mean, we have met with so many different segments across Howard County, which is what I think, one, makes our county great, but also just to sit and listen, not for me to just talk to folks and say what I think, because I really think good governance comes from listening and understanding what the community needs, and working in partnership.
Hello, I'm a 25th years of the public school educator. I teach at a different county, but my question is, it's not just the Howard County. The state mandated score is getting lower for around the state of Maryland, right? And I think one of the reasons is retaining good teachers. So do you have any plans to retain the good teacher? That's one of the part of the blueprint, right?
Yes. So that is something that we worked really hard on, retaining, how to retain teachers and how to recruit teachers and how to recruit minority teachers and teachers of color was something that we really tried to focus on. And it's hard because nationwide there's a teacher shortage. And so that's one of the reasons why under the blueprint we raised salaries for teachers. We created a career ladder. So if folks met certain benchmarks, then they could earn more money. But it's also about being intentional and going out to our local colleges and institutions, meeting with different community members, I think, different groups, and actually, saying, hey, do you know folks that are graduating, that are in college, that are interested in teaching? I mean, I think it's going to take that type of intentionality at the local level to bring folks to your county. You have to go out and be an ambassador and sell your county. And so that would literally take me as county executive going out to different groups and saying, hey, we're hiring teachers, me and our superintendent, Dr. Barnes, and say, hey, we're hiring folks. We really want you to come to Howard County. And that is something that I'm committed to doing, because I think it is really important for all of the students in our schools to see themselves in their teachers. That makes them feel safe. It makes them learn better. And it just makes them feel more at ease when they're in our school systems.
Thank you, Ms. Vanessa Atterbeary, coming to this TAC show, and we are honored by your presence. And thank you for listening to Voice of Asian American Community, and try to address their concerns. And we are very, very grateful that you are here today. And again, thank you, and thank you everyone for coming.
Thank you. Thank you.